So it is officially market day. I have been prepping for this market for about 2 months now, and it's about 8:30 in the morning. This is all the stuff I have. So these 2 bins are mostly prep stuff like setup and all of that. So I've got crates in there, and then this has a little bit of crochet stuff, but then this is the main bin that has the majority of what I'll be selling. And yeah, we're gonna start loading this up in the car and go. Okay, it's about 3:30 and it's kind of loud. There's a generator and there's music, but sales have been good. I think I've made over $200 so far, but that's not including like all the costs. So like that's just revenue, not profit. So, but yeah, it's been good. The weather's been good. It has been windy and it's been knocking over some of my stuff, but it's not like too bad. It's just because my signs are pretty thin, so the wind knocks them over sometimes. And then the Chevy Dinos, surprisingly, I've only sold one of these. That's crazy to me because they're normally my best seller. Even though I did actually raise the price of them a little bit. That used to be 15, now I'm selling it for 18. But I think that's probably a much steadier price. So it's good, but it's been a good day. Sales have been good. I like my setup. I had this full before, and I only have 4 left. Okay, Miss Granny. I also have this little dollar bin that has been doing pretty good. Just random stuff that I was kind of wanting to get rid of. Old crafts that I've done. Magnets have been doing good. The flower keychains have been doing pretty good. And somehow I've only sold 1 gummy bear keychain, which is very surprising to me because last time these were one of my best sellers. So I don't know, but I don't have that many of them either. So, but yeah, it's been pretty good. I also have sold a lot of plushies. I still have a few left, but yeah. Okay, it's about 4 o'clock. Sales have still been good. I'm eating my soup again, but it's cold, so I'm kind of sad. But it's, I don't know what else to say. But we got like 2 hours left, and I'm kind of ready to go. I'm happy with the amount that I've sold. I'm not gonna just back up and leave early, but it's been a good day, and I'm kind of ready. I'm tired. Hey. One more update. Okay, lashes. Anyway. Hey, bestie! You want to be in my vlog? Sure. Oh, thank you! You're so sweet! Bestie came and brought me Sonic. Hi. I was about to say it's cold now. Now I have my jacket. You guys all get to be in my vlog. Dakota was already in it earlier, but you can be in it again. He ain't even doing nothing. Ah! Okay, bye. No! Oh my gosh. If one of them falls, you have to buy it. So, yeah.
One of them don't fall. Then you have to buy my shit.
That is not gonna fit.
That's fine.
This is stressing me out. It's like,
I know, I'm so scared one's gonna fall on the ground. Oh my gosh, the bucket hats are sliding back. Okay, take them off.
One's kind of heavy.
Oh gosh. All right, we're cleaning up now. This is what is left. Surprisingly, I only sold 1 bandana. I thought these were gonna do a lot better, but yeah. These are the rest of the gummy bears. Few car hangers left.
Coca-Cola.
1 tote bag sold. No bucket hats sold, actually. This one Dakota made while we were sitting here. And then 2 gummy bears keychains sold. 4? Apparently 4 sold. And then these are what's left. Okay, I've got my phone propped up literally on my Stanley Cup right now, so sorry if it's a little wonky, but it's not a very big haul. So I wanted to show y'all a couple things. And then tomorrow, I'm not adding up all the numbers tonight, but I will show y'all what I bought. So the first time I walked around, I actually wanted to find somebody who I knew who was having a booth there, because it's a girl who's in one of my classes, and we recently just had this project where we had to paint like a fruit or something, like some kind of food, and like showed it, the first painting being normal and the second painting being it after it's like been sitting out and starts decaying, so that it like looks different. And I told her in class, her painting looked so good, and just like, she chose a bell pepper and it was just so different, and it just, so many other people's paintings looked good too, and like I was fairly happy with how mine turned out, you know, but I just loved hers for some reason. Like I loved all the little seeds, and it was a red bell pepper, and so it had like a little bit of orange and green, and then it was just so cute, and I was like, this would look so good on my collage wall. I'll go ahead and show y'all that so y'all know what I'm talking about. Those are just some Polaroids I have, but then these, I have a whole bunch of collages. So some of them, like this big one here and that one and a couple others, are actual collages that I made, but then everything else is like just pictures and stuff that I like and think would look good. And I've got a whole bunch of postcards from when I went to New York, and so they're all from the Museum of Modern Art. And I also love just like buying art from people I know, or just like supporting local businesses, small artists and stuff like that. So I just love collecting stuff like that. So I found her booth when I got a chance. Hold on, let me take it out so y'all can see. So here's the first one. Oh my gosh, the camera doesn't even do it justice. Also, I will say, not that the print looks bad or anything, because I am obsessed. I love this, like the bell pepper sitting in the bowl. Oh, I love it. It's so gorgeous. But seeing it in person was also still just like even better. Like it looks so good. I'm obsessed. And so then here's the second one. And then here, I'll give y'all a little side by side. But yeah, I'm obsessed. And so when I saw her make this in class, I was like, I literally told her, I was like, if you make a print of this, I will buy it. And I did. And then she came and bought something for me too. So it was great. It was like a little art trade kind of thing. So it was very cute. So Claire, if you're watching this, thank you. And I love your art. I really only technically bought one other thing, and that is some yarn. I was just so surprised. I did not think that I was gonna just go, you know, find some yarn today, but it was just amazing. It was just perfect. So I actually noticed it towards the end. I saw some people walking around, and I saw somebody that had a bag of yarn, and I was like, somebody's selling yarn. Like I need to go see what's up. You know, I never really find good yarn that I want at like thrift stores or anything like that. It's usually all yarn that not brands that I would typically buy, or just whatever. For whatever reason, I've never found any good yarn at thrift stores or stuff like this. And this, I found the yarn, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And it was only $10 for 5 skeins of this. Look at this. And get this, it's 53% wool. I have been wanting to buy some more natural fibers for so long. Like I've always wanted to try it. I've always wanted to find some good like wool or whatever. Okay, I say so long. Really, it's been just like this year. But I mean, it is April, so like I guess it has been a while. But there aren't any good like local small business yarn shops near me, anything like that. And so all we have are the big chain stores. So I bought this. $10 for 5 skeins. It's the color Pink Sands, and it's by the Lion brand yarn. And so it's 53% wool, then 47% acrylic. And here, I'll take one out and look at it real quick. They're actually pretty soft. Like I'm so happy about this. And so first I just bought this bag. When she was showing it to me originally, she showed me that she had a second bag. Oh, and get this. She had the dye lot numbers written on them. She had another bag that was the same color from the same dye lot too, which I will say isn't that big of a deal to me because it is a variegated yarn, since it's, you know, multicolored and everything. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be a huge difference if there's like a slight difference in color because it's already multicolored. But then I got it anyway. I literally walked away with just the one at first, and then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, the second one is only 3 skeins, and so it was $6. So all of this is literally just $2 per skein. Like I've never gotten to try this before, so I'm very excited, and it was a good deal, $2 per skein. So I'm very excited about my yarn and my print. This is gonna look so good. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, I gotta quit. I gotta go to bed. Now I'm like even more awake because I'm just excited talking about my yarn and my art print that I bought. So yeah, this was a great day. Anyway, I'm rambling and I still have to include the prices in this video. So I'm gonna shut up now and you will see me when I am telling you the price breakdown. Okay, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, the results. As you can see, I am back home. I have waited a few weeks to film this part just because after the market, I was just focusing on finals and moving out of college. So now I'm back home for the summer. Also, sorry if I talk a little weird or if it looks like I'm smiling weird. I have a huge canker sore on the inside of my cheek right now and it hurts so bad. But whatever, I'm filming this part anyway, so we're just gonna deal with it. So during the market, I wrote down pretty much everything I could. And I know that I originally told you guys I wanted to make a Google spreadsheet of all of the information, which I still can go back and do, but there are a few slight approximations, not exact, just because I did not count all of my keychains and I did not count everything that I had in my little $1 bin. So, oh, and the gummy bear magnets too. No, wait. I think I actually did count the gummy bear magnets. So I could go back and see how many I have left, but I don't feel like doing that. This is just gonna be an approximation because for the stuff I individually tagged, that was easy to mark off. But then the stuff on the back that I did not individually tag, some of it I did know the exact number of, but I just didn't have individual tags on them. I tried my best to keep track of them, and for the most part, these were actually relatively easy to keep track of since it was only like one of each sold, except for the keychains and gummy bear magnets. Those ones, I just kind of took my best guess. And I think either way, the number is really close, so that's just what we're gonna go with. So first, let's talk about what sold. As you can see, all of the stuff I have highlighted is what sold, so that is looking really good. So I had 3 tote bags and one of them sold. It was the scrappy tote bag, which I was actually surprised that one, out of all of them, that one was the one that sold. So the heart tote bag didn't sell and the granny square tote bag didn't sell, but the scrappy tote bag did for $35. Next, I do have my jumbo triceratops listed, which is like a strawberry lemonade style. And I had that for sale for $70, but I kind of want to just totally exclude this from the totals because I have now decided that I'm gonna bring this with me to markets just for like a showpiece, but I really don't want to sell her. It was the first like big plushie project I had ever made, and also with that being said, it was at the beginning of when I was still new to crochet and specifically making plushies, so it's not bad quality, but it's not as good as I would like it to be able to sell it, which is part of the reason why I had it at $70 instead of $85, which is what I would have originally probably sold a plushie for that size. But I just decided I'm gonna change the tag for my next market and I'm just gonna have it say not for sale, and she is just gonna be there to look cute. But yeah, that was next on the list. I'm actually really glad she didn't sell because I do want to keep her. I would have been okay with it at the time, but I've changed my mind now. And so next we have the strawberry triceratops for $45, that didn't sell, and my large bee for $20, that didn't sell. And I know I already showed y'all that little clip of everything that didn't sell at the end of the market, so I'm not gonna like insert a picture of all of them. You guys saw it earlier in the video. And then now for some things that did sell, I had a snake that sold for $17, a stingray plushie that sold for $15, a cow plushie that sold for $35, which was actually my own pattern that I am still currently in the works of, a unicorn plushie that sold for $22. Neither of my medium-sized chubby dinos sold. I had those for $25 each. It's the same pattern as my smaller chubby dinos that I had for $18, but they were just made with like plush yarn, so they're just a lot bigger. And I do want to make more of those because I think with them being a bigger size, that makes it a little more worth my time. But unfortunately, neither of those sold at this market. One plant hanger sold for $15 and then the other one sold for $17. And the reason they were different prices was because, if you remember, one of them had shorter leaves, one of them had longer leaves. So the longer leaves one was a little more expensive. Then my Pop-Tart hanger did not sell. I had one bralette sold, which that one actually sold to one of my friends who came to see me. They were my first customers that came literally right at 12, and she wanted to buy my top, so I thought that was nice. So yeah, one out of the 2 bralettes I had sold, and that was $35. Then I had 3 mushrooms total, and 2 of them sold. Actually, to one of my classmates. We did like a little art trade because she also had a booth there, and I bought her little bell pepper prints. And so then she ended up coming to my booth and buying the 2 mushrooms that like matched each other because they were both from these like crochet kits that I got, and so they were like the same style. They were really cutesy. Yeah, and they were worth like the same, like $30 and $30, so that was great. And then I had one axolotl sell for $12. Well, it was also the only axolotl I had. It was from another one of those crochet kits that I had done. And then I had a penguin for $10, which did not sell. I had the balloon dog sell for $10. And then I had 3 chubby dinos total. Oh, I think this number was wrong. I think 2 of them actually sold. We're gonna go with what I wrote down. I wrote down that 1 of them sold, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think 2 of them actually sold. So hold on, let me go look at my inventory real quick and double check. And if more than 1 sold, then I gotta redo some of my math, but that's okay. Let me go check. Okay, so it turns out I remembered correctly. It was 2 chubby dinos that sold, not 1. And so since I did have to go ahead and redo my math anyway, I went ahead and grabbed the gummy bear magnets too, recounted those. And so now my totals should be a little more accurate. So back to the list. 2 chubby dinos sold for $18, which left 1 left over. I had 1 chubby stego that sold for $18. And then I had 4 octos that all sold for $10. So that was great. And those were all things that I had made like a while ago. They were really cute. I just kind of forgot about them and hadn't made any more since then, but they all sold. So, and then I had 4 coasters that were kind of just random, and I had them listed for $3 each, and 1 of those sold. And so that makes the total for individually priced items that sold $340. Now for my next page, which is stuff that I basically just had signs for, I had 4 beanies. None of them sold, and those are just like regular beanies. I had 4 cat ear beanies, and 1 of those sold for $25. I had a total of 18 bandanas, and they were $12 each, and only 1 of them sold. I had 9 ear warmers for $12 each, and 1 of those sold. I had 5 bucket hats for $25, and none of those sold. Then the gummy bear keychains, I didn't count those, so I don't have a total number, but I sold 2 of them for $6 each. And then I had 66 gummy bear magnets total for $1 each, and 13 of them sold. So then that's $13. Then flower keychains, I didn't have a total number for that because I didn't count them, but I wrote down that 8 of them sold. And now I don't know how accurate that is because there could be another couple of them that I just forgot to mark down. So, but from what I wrote down, 8 of them sold for $24 total for that section. And then I had 6 flower car hangers, which y'all saw me make in my How Much Can I Crochet in a Day video. That was my like first market prepping video for this series of this market. And surprisingly, none of those sold. I was very surprised about that because I thought they were really cute. But that lets me know, since the potted plant hanger, car hangers sold, and they both sold relatively early on in the market, I will definitely focus on making more of those instead of the flower ones next time. The last thing that we have is just stuff from my dollar bin, and that was all just like random old crafts that I had done. So like the paracord bracelets and some old perler bead projects I had done. And then also I had a couple coasters in there that just didn't really turn out the way I wanted to, so I just threw them in there for $1. So yeah, just little things here and there like that. And that did pretty okay. I just wrote down approximately $7 just based on what I can remember. Might have been closer to 10. Maybe I should have rounded to 10, but oh well. I just wrote 7. I'm not changing my math again, so we're just gonna leave it at that. And because that is from what I actually had marked down that I counted throughout the day, but there probably were a couple more that I missed, but it's okay. So my total for this page is $105 worth of stuff sold. So now, all of that put together, for everything that sold, total revenue, so we haven't taken out the costs yet, I made $445. I'm so happy. That was great. The market went so great. I am so happy about the results. Now, I will give y'all another breakdown of the costs so that you can know how much actual profit I made, which is still pretty good. So I'm not gonna bore you with each individual costs, but I did the math and I did have a little bit of fees from like Square and whatnot, so that's why it's not in whole numbers. But the total costs were $82.36. So subtracting that from my revenue, that is $362.64 in profit, which is still really good. And part of that is just because the booth fee was $50. I spent $24 on yarn for the bandanas, which, even though only one of those sold, unfortunately, I'm sure they'll sell eventually, so I'll just hold on to them for a while. It's okay. But yeah, I made $445. That's crazy to me. I sold $445 worth of stuff. I had, I think, a little over $1,000 worth of inventory, like 1,100 or 200 maybe, and I sold $445. That is just so crazy to me, because this is my first like actual big market, or my first real market, I should say. I only have one other video of my channel that's like a market prep vlog video besides the videos I had for this market. So I've only done one other one before, and that one was a very small one. It was not like a big art festival or anything. It was literally just something I was doing with my art club at this brewery, and I literally just had a table and I shared it with my friend Dakota. Like, that was it. So I had half a table and I barely had anything, like barely. And I made $120 from that, I think. Spoiler if you haven't seen that video. But so from that market, since I made $120, my goal for this market, bare minimum, at least make the booth fee back, right? But then my actual goal was to make at least $200, because I was like, if I made $120 at that small, tiny little table market, surely I can make at least $200 at this market, right? And I made twice that. So I'm very happy, and I feel like that does seem kind of like a low goal to set, just because it was such a big market and I did have a lot of time to prepare for it. However, even though, yeah, I had 2 months to prepare for it, I am a full-time college student and I am getting an art degree, and for those of you who may have done that before, you know it's a lot of work. I have projects to do all the time, and this semester was crazy with projects. So I was crocheting when I could, and that is also part of the reason why I didn't have as many plushies as I would have liked, just because a lot of the times, like, I was crocheting every chance I got, which meant I was crocheting on the go, in the car, stuff like that. And when I am having to take my crochet stuff with me somewhere, I don't want to bring all the supplies for plushies. I don't want to bring eyes, the backs, stuffing, all of that. That's just, no, that's a lot of work. So I would make like the bucket hats and stuff like that. So I'm still very happy with this. I would have liked to have more plushies, and that probably would have made me make even more, but it's okay. I'm still happy with it. And I do think that it is better that I set that kind of seemingly lower goal, because then now that made me really happy with how it turned out. But if I would have set like a really high goal for myself, then I would have been a little disappointed, because it wouldn't have been as big of a jump from what I was expecting. So, but yeah, I am so happy with this market. I really hope you guys enjoyed this series and this market vlog, and I will be making another one. I have one more market coming up this year. I don't know if I'm doing any markets in the fall right now, so as of right now, I have one more market left. So stay tuned for that. That's not going to be as long of a series. I'm just going to do that in one video, because I kind of drug this one out for so long that I need a break. I'm just gonna do one video for the next market. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!